We've reached the end of the regular season, and it's a rematch from way back in Week 2. Washington can sweep New York for the first time since 2011. It's the football team and the Giants. Next.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Washington football team. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and CD, you look at Washington coming into play here. They've got to be thinking, hey, we've got a good chance to be successful here running the football.
No doubt about that, because that has to be their mindset. It should be their mindset. This is one of the better rushing offenses in the league, and they're squaring off against a team that's not at all strong on the other side of the ball. So this could be one where we see this offense try to impose their will through the trenches, and in fact, they should.
Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from MetLife Stadium. From the 10 and beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Jones fakes the give to blitz coming, and down he goes. Montez Sweat. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on third and long.
They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Yeah, that'll be taken just outside the 40. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be led out by their fourth-year man from Houston. It's Kyle Allen.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
Well, he got touchdowns. I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. It obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Allen to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try to throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Now Allen. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. They'll go. It's Gibson. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And the Giants are going to get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse it through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They will run it. It's McKissick. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he's got this down to the 35. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter's telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow, might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. We're scoreless after one. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. A carry now for McKissick. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
So first and goal from the 9-yard line. To throw, it's Allen. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Down near the goal line, things really get physical. You're always anticipating a running play, but when they do throw it, things happen quickly. A little bit of a bang-bang play there that falls incomplete.
Looking and finding Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Logan Thomas with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
Now for the point after. It's good, and Washington will take a 7-0 lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Throwing Jones. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Daron Payne, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
They'll run with McKissick. Dances by at the 20. 51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
He was brought down by James Bradbury.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. J.D. McKissick, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
The extra point by Sly is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Here we go.
Now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again. And this defense, they came prepared. He's probably going to be seeing them in his sleep if they don't fix things quickly.
And that's not exactly what he wants to see in his post-game slumber. So they've got to figure out a way to slow things down a little bit. Some screen passes, some draws, anything to make the defensive front hesitate a little bit. Think on their way back to the quarterback, maybe even a quarterback draw, some type of tendency breaker to change things up.
Exactly. Whatever the case, something to mix it up here. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Here's Jones on 1st down. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Jones. They shakes him off. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Chase Young dropping him for the 2nd straight play. Might want to think about blocking him here on 3rd down. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, and it's the Cowboys who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Chris Godwin, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Randall Cobb, a touchdown reception. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they did not have the same kind of success on the ground. They struggled to get the run game going to this point, as you see there. Both teams making their final adjustments for the second half to come. And to bring the action your way, we go back to MetLife Stadium and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Fielded right around the 8. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. The cornerback, it's Logan Ryan who brings him down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with McKissick. McKissick a first down and then some. And finally brought down at the 38. 95 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
And the Washington first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's McKissick. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it. Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Shreds him with a stiff arm. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner, because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Allen now on 3rd and goal. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel with touchdown number 8 on the year. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, a mistake there. The kickoff out of bounds.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They'll hand off to Booker. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Cameron Curl with the tackle that time. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Running again, and again it's Booker. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
And now we always talk about...
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Then he will finally be taken down, but how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the 3rd quarter. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. They'll try and run for it. He's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. They stop him on 4th and goal at the 3. And this Giants defense able to come up with a goal line stand. The drive starts with Devontae Booker. And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. This will be fielded at the 17.
We play to win.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Washington on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps them move the sticks.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
On play action, Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Washington. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now Joey Slye for the point after. And the lead is now an even 30. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time.
And a lot of that in getting past it is attitude. How's he projecting? Is he showing that the other team is getting to him? Is he showing his guys up front that he's upset, that he's angry, or is he still encouraging? Because those guys, they've got to find a way to pick it up, and it always happens a little bit better if they feel like their quarterback's on their side.
So far, 5 sacks against him. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. 6 yards left on 2nd down. Back to throw. Jones. And and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Jones to throw on third down. And Ingram hauls it in. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And that is incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jones. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 44-yard line. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll look to throw again. Gets it quickly to Galladay. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Again, he'll drop to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Jones' throw here taken in by Ingram. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Back to throw again. He targets Ingram for another grab. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. This is Booker on the dump off. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the 4th. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty's not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So a victory here for the Washington football team. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Washington,
They finish off a perfect regular season, 17-0.
and now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Giants,
It's been a sinking ship all season, to be frank, as they finally draw the curtain on what will be a 2-15 year.
and you have to figure that this is a team that will look a whole lot different come training camp next July.